Bonjour, je m'appelle Operation Poor. Bienvenue à la montagne. My name is Operation Poor. Welcome back to the mountain. So on a nice sunny day, rocking DCUs, and believe it or not, I actually stepped on a quail on the way up here. I tried to get some footage of it, mainly for my wife because she wouldn't have believed me. But I straight up stepped on a quail on my way up here. So apparently DCU actually works when it's early spring. So there we go in the Appalachian region. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. I'm gonna try to work on information transfer. A lot of this is fact-based, a lot of this is opinionated. So this is just this isn't a whole part. I'm just making a quick little successor to the Appalachian sniper system. It's kind of a thing I pioneered, and it's essentially conducting guerrilla warfare as a sniper, like all fictitious. I'm not legally responsible for what you do, but something crazy kicks off. Foreign body, Terminators, I don't know, aliens, whatever your preference. We'll leave it at that. Whatever your preference of schizo scenario. And essentially I've pioneered this and the tactics and everything from the ground up, completely reworked sniping as a whole. And I got some questions, and I just want to address that as we go along. So one of the questions was, you know, a 5.56, or it was a comment, it said 5.56 will do everything. There's a turkey over the hill. I keep hearing it. My apologies. 5.56 will do everything a 308 will do within the meters, the range we're working with. So like 300 meters and in, max 400 meters or 450 yards. That's absolutely maxed out. And while yes, that's true, I just want to pop some pictures up. This is where I am. This is like the scenarios I run and how I train and how I develop this concept has came from stuff like this. And the simple fact is, especially with these hillsides and stuff, from here to, you see in the pictures, through the spotting scope and through the scope, there's just nothing but brush. But behind that brush is a bush with 2 electric poles coming out of it. And for reference, I'm not shooting the electric poles. This is solely so I could get something in the field without having to walk all the way across the ridge and just set a pop can or something up. So we're pretending there's an enemy or somebody hiding in that bush. Concealment, maybe he's flying a drone, whatever. And he's over there in that bush right now. So we have a clear shot in between these branches. If you can look through the scope, hopefully you can see that. But especially with a spotting scope and just the terrain and the features, you have to work around. And there's a good chance you're gonna have to shoot through a couple twigs to get on target. So even though we're not working with extreme range, like this shot, I think we're right at 200 meters from those poles. I got a 25 power right now on that spotting scope. So whatever that equates to, it's about 200 meters from here to there where the opposition would be. We have small trees, we have branches, we have foliage in the way. And even though we have a clear window, you got to keep in mind that bullet will rise and settle. A bullet doesn't come straight out and then gravity takes its course. It's more like a football arc. Leaves the muzzle, it goes up and comes back down on target. That's why in the part 2 of this series, we had the whole discussion about BDC reticles and holdovers, right? So, excuse me. So I've made a shot like this before, go about 10 foot to the left in between the yoke of the Y. I'll also, if those pictures aren't good, I will try to show a tree, yoke of the Y. And I had a human-sized silhouette, kind of 10 foot to the left of those poles. No, not shooting poles, it's just for reference. 10 or 20 foot to the left, and I've made this shot a million times in that field. And yes, it's safe, shooting lanes are clear, there's nothing on the other side of the hill even. I mean, a property owner good with it, whatever. So now that that's all the way, this is shots that you would have to make as a guerrilla. You can't just pick and choose. This isn't an open range, and you don't really need to clear brush. I mean, maybe in the immediate area, clear as much for a shooting lane as possible. But in reality, for a guerrilla sniper to be successful, especially in a close engagement and distance or environment that Appalachia, that's all that Appalachia has to offer. All your hide sites and all your shots are going to be taken from stuff like this, through the brush, through the trees. And the simple fact is, a small light round like 5.56 will deflect if it hits a couple twigs. It could hit a twig, and even if that bullet just deflects a couple degrees off, you're at this distance, you're going to shoot 10-20 foot to the left or right, either one, up or down. The 308, I use heavier loads. I try to stick with like 168 grain. I don't go any lower than 160 grain. I try to stick with 168 grain match grade ammunition, or heavier bullets, just for that purpose. Also for taking out vehicles and machinery, but the main purpose is shooting straight through these twigs, and I don't have to worry about that much deflection. Now, can you get unlucky? Yes, but that is another reason why we use the M111 M110 sniper system. It's basically an AR-10 308 semi-automatic, because if it does deflect, we can get quick and rapid follow-up shots on target. And kind of a positive with being here with all this brush and stuff, and not having a clear shooting lane, is we're very, very well concealed. We have overhead cover. I mean, we could do better, 100%. We have overhead cover right now. You know, in the springtime when this all leaves out, we'll have great overhead cover. But we got twigs and stuff. We got our boonie. We got all kinds of mesh. These Timu scarves, which are not IR reflected, by the way, which is crazy. Or no, I got them from AliExpress. My bad. I got one over the spotting scope, one over here to use as a sniper veil. Like, we are covered. If I had a camera over there, I would show you. You would have to have like a hawk eye to be able to see over here. I have kill flash on the scope. I have kill flash on the spotting scope and my rifle scope. There's no shine, no glint. I mean, I had safety glasses on, obviously. I am going to shoot not at the poles, but I'm going to see about maybe later setting some targets up, like I said, 20-30 feet to the left, and see what I can do. But like I said, I've made this shot before. You have to shoot through the brush, and this isn't just one. Don't think I just walked up here in this one spot. We're on a big cliff face, and it drops down about 10 foot, and we're on a big rock right now. I'm gonna move this, and it's probably gonna regret it. So guys, this is a big rock. This is a big rock face right here that we're shooting off of, and this is the kind of stuff that's around here. It's big rocks and cliff faces and thick brush. That is all that's in my region. So I literally have developed this concept based on the terrain. So hopefully you guys understand, you know, you don't want that deflection. And while the spotter probably doesn't need to have a 5.56 20-inch, we're going to do the spotter rifle once I get it built out. Keep in mind, like I said, I'm building all this from the ground up. I've took things from British SAS. I've took stuff straight from the Army TM of, you know, guerrilla warfare. I've took stuff from Green Berets and stuff that I learned when I was in the military. And I've completely redone everything from the ground up trying to get this, because the simple fact is, if something ever did come, there's glint over there. I think there's a car in the field. There's something over there in the field. I'll show you that in a minute. The simple fact is, if war ever did come to Appalachia, this is what would help us. You know, if Russia or China or aliens, Terminators, whatever, like I said, schizo scenario you got in your head, this is what would keep us on top. We know the terrain. We've lived here. We've grown up here in these mountains. This is what holds them at bay and why they don't invade us. Because we got people like me, people like you, going out here in the woods and training and keeping up on our skills, even though they're not police, even though they're not military. Hell, they might be, I don't know. But we got people out here, real, you know, patriots, protectors, whatever. And that's what it's all about, guys. You know, just keep training, and I mean, don't go into it, you know, just have integrity about it. Some people beat themselves up and some people go crazy with it. Don't make it your whole life. You know, it's a big part of my life, mainly because of this channel, and it's really one of my main hobbies. I've always been interested in it since I was like 15. So you know, it's just going to be there. You know, I left the military and I was like, no, I still want to play Army, and that's what I do. But yeah, so 308, because of the deflection, it can punch through stuff. Simple as that. It can also punch through engine blocks, certain rounds, you know, body armor, etc., etc. Yeah, so like I said, spotter could probably use a 20-inch 5.56, but trying to make shots like this from hillside to hillside through a bunch of trees and twigs, it's probably not a good idea. Just be honest with you. In my experience, I've had 5.56 hit a twig really close, like 10 foot out of the barrel, and it just, I mean, at like 50 yards, it goes 5 or 6 inches right. I mean, I've had it, it's that bad. The bullet is so light and it's going so fast that, I mean, any little thing it hits, it just... So that is why I just wanted to address that comment. That is why I chose 308. Get out there, keep training, follow all your laws. I know some states are kind of rough to do this kind of stuff, but just keep going, guys. You got it. See you next time on the mountain. Peace. And for reference, this is kind of the setup. And there's a field back in there. I mean, you really have to look. Spotting scope is looking through that brush. There's 2 electric poles there with a bush in the middle, and then the rifle is also looking right directly at them. But these, like I said, these are shots that you would have to make. You know, we're not hunting deer. We're trying to protect us and our families. You know, all hypothetical. This is all hypothetical. It ain't never going to happen, but you need to put this out here so it doesn't happen. But yeah, God bless you guys. Have a great day.